All right. We're going to pick back up. We were talking about the covered call strategy. I know this causes a lot of confusion. So let's talk about this again, all right? I want you to imagine you have $30,000 and you're going to buy a bond. Just a regular old bond, a treasury bill, right? And you know what a bond is. In this example, $30,000. I have $30,000. You buy the bond from the government, let's say, and you choose how long. Does this last for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year? You pick the duration. And in our example, we chose the 1 month. And it pays 4.2% annually in a year. So after the month, you get your $30,000 back plus interest. And you'd get $105. And the reason that is because 4.2% of $30,000 in a year would be $1,260. 4.2% annually divided by 12, you get $105 back. And it's just not enough. That ain't going to cut it, all right? That's just not going to cut it. So what we want to do is use some of that bond investment money and sell covered calls or sell a covered call option. And I'm gonna walk you through this again, but I think I can articulate it a little bit better. And this is something I don't understand why this stuff isn't more widely known. I mean, it took me forever to learn this stuff. I never knew it existed. It's like I find this stuff by accident, along the journey. And I can't help but think it's on purpose that this stuff is kind of hidden in plain sight. Because they don't want you to know it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so instead of buying a bond for $30,000, we are going to buy, and in this example, I chose Tesla stock. We're going to buy 100 shares of Tesla stock. And currently, Tesla stock is trading at $298.26 per share. We're going to buy 100 shares, so we're going to spend $29,826 on shares of stock instead of buying a bond. Okay, I think that's completely easy. I understand. Good. All right. Here is where the covered call strategy begins. We have our 100 shares. So we're talking about a call option, an options contract. When we're talking about an options contract, every contract, each single contract has these elements right here, right? It includes 100 shares. So one contract has 100 shares. In this case, it's Tesla. It has an expiration date or a maturity date, just like the bond did. Same thing going on. And a strike price. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Okay. We bought our 100 shares. We invested our $29,826. And now we are ready to sell a covered call. And what we do is we go to the options chain. And we're going to pick a date, just like the bond. You pick the date with the bond. You pick a date with the call option. Now, with the bond, we went out a month. With the call options, I like to sell them about a week away. I want it to expire in about a week or mature in a week instead of a month. And I'll explain why in a minute, but that's not important right now. All right, so we've chosen the maturity date or the expiration date. We have the 100 shares, and here we have our strike prices. So here's what we're doing. We said Tesla stock, we bought it at $298.26. We're going to look for the strike price that's just above our purchase price. So $298.26, there's our purchase price. So the strike price we're going to choose is 300. You can see here in these examples, the strike prices are in increments of $2.50. So we're going to pick the $300 strike price because it's the next higher price from what we bought, but it's going to give us the highest payout. I'll explain in a minute. Okay. So we've chosen what we want to sell. And then we click a few buttons, and boom, we've sold our call option, and we received right there, immediately, we received $9.62 for every share we own. And how many shares do we own? We own 100 shares. So we received $962. Boom. We just got it. All right? And that is a lot better than $105. Now think about this for a second. We're going to tie our money up in this option for about a week. So the money that we spent on Tesla, we got to tie these shares up for about a week. So we're going to say we made $962 in a week as opposed to making $105 in a month. Another way to look at this is the bond was paying 4.2% annually. Well, if we did our covered call every week and we were able to get this, we would basically be making 166% annually. Now, that's theoretical. That really could not happen. But I just want you to understand just how big the difference is in payout. The bond pays almost nothing. The covered call pays quite well. But there is a reason for that, and that is because there is risk. And I should say also, there's also volatility. Stocks that are volatile, up, down, up, they pay a lot more. Like these prices that you're looking at right here, here's your strike price, here's your payout. This is called the premium. With the bond, you collect interest. With the covered call, you collect a premium. With the bond, you have a maturity date. With the covered call, you have an expiration date. But you can kind of interchange these things. I mean, the bond example is so simple. I'm trying to use those terms. Because if you think about it like a bond, it's very, very simple then. So we made our $962. Now, what's the deal? Why are we getting paid so much? What's the risk? And let's talk about that. So let's just talk about what's happening here. So we have sold this covered call to somebody else on the internet. Somebody on the other side of this trade. They bought the call option that we just sold. They paid us $962. Why? What they're buying is an option to buy 100 shares of Tesla stock, to buy our shares at $300. That's what they've purchased. They've bought an option. And what would be the point of this? Well, very simply, if the price of Tesla stock on May 16th, when this thing expires, if it is above $300, the price goes up, we are obligated to sell our shares to this other person for $300 per share. Even if the price is at $320 or $350 or $1,000, the price goes to $1 million per share. Oh man, we are obligated to sell our stock at $300 per share. And I don't care if the price goes to $1 million. That's not why I took this trade. This is not the kind of thing where, like, you might buy stock with the hopes and anticipations and speculation that it's going to go up. Maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year, maybe sometime. You don't know. I mean, like, Tesla's a great example. Like, Tesla's going to go to the moon. So I want to own it for the long haul. I want to buy a bunch of Tesla stock and just put it away and forget about it until it goes to the moon. Call options has nothing to do with that. What I'm trying to do is take money that's sitting in a bond, collecting almost nothing, and put it to work. I don't care if my stock is sold away at a lower price than the market value. For instance, let's say the price goes up to 320 and I'm forced to sell it at 300 per share. Well, let's go back to how this started. I spent $29,826 to buy the shares, and I'm going to sell them at $30,000. I'm going to make $174 on my sale. Plus, I get to keep that premium of $962. I keep that no matter what happens. It's my money. I mean, yeah, it's hard to watch it go to the moon when I could have, but that's not why I bought it. I didn't buy it because Tesla might go. I bought it because I wanted income now. I wanted some sort of I wanted to get paid. I don't want to wait. And then, like, if you buy stock and let's say it goes up real high, should I sell? Should I sell some of it? You know, I have bills to pay. You know, it's like you got to make those tough decisions. No. I just want to sell my covered call, collect this premium. This is called premium. I don't know if we talked about that. Like with a bond, you collect an interest payment. With a covered call, you collect a premium payment. See what I mean? Kind of this. It's very different, but it's like the same thing. I want to collect my premium so I can go buy groceries or whatever. So that's why I implement the strategy, right? It's not a speculation like, you know, holding stock. It's like a bond. It's an income strategy. I want to be able to start getting some income. So we talked about what happens if the price goes above 300. Our strike price is 300. If it goes up, I'm then required to sell. If the price stays below 300, then the contract expires worthless. I keep my 962. I keep my 962 no matter what. That's mine. I got that, done deal. Whether the stock goes up or down or stays the same, I'm keeping the 962. But if the price closes below 300, I also keep my stock. So if the price closes at, let's say, 295, awesome. I keep my stock and I keep my premium. And now I can sell another covered call. But remember, you got to sell your covered call at the strike price above what you paid for it. Remember, we paid $298.26. I can't sell a strike price, you know, here. And this is where the risk comes in. Because if you're in the middle of this trade, let's say, you've collected your premium, what if the price plummets? What if the price, you know, you paid $298, what if it goes down to like $250? You know, you're like $50 away from your purchase price. Well, you kept your stock and you kept your premium, but now when you go in to sell another covered call, you gotta find a strike price. The strike price is going to be far away from the current price. Here, let me give you an example. Like, if we were $50 away, so I'm making an argument that, or I'm painting an example, or painting a picture, that the price went from $298 to $250. It went from, let's say, $300 to $250. It's $50 away. So at $50 away from the current price, you can see that this premium is very, very little. Here it's $962. Here it's like $62. Because the price is so far away from this strike. Now, in our example, I got to use a 300 strike because I paid 29.8 to get it. So if the price were to go like down to 250, whatever, this strike price is going to be far away and it's not going to pay. So what I'll have to end up doing, here's an example. The 350 is paying it'd be $64, and that's next week. I got to pick an expiration date that's much further out. So I'm going to go out to like June 20th. And now a strike price that's $50 away from the current price, see, it's going to pay me $885. And that's acceptable. But I got to wait a month now. I made $962 in a week. Now I'm going to make $885 in a month. Not nearly as good, but much better than $105 in a month. I mean, it's like 8x. I was making $105 with the bond. I can make $800. You know what I mean? It's like, heck, you could be like $100 away and still make $325. So the risk is that the stock might fall really hard. And now it's well below your strike. I mean, I say below, and this chart puts it above. But the current price is going to be far less than the strike price that you need, or your purchase price. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so that's how the covered call works. There's another half to this. It's called cash secured put, where let's say the price does go up and your shares are called away. You can get them back by selling a cash secured put option, another kind of option. Instead of a call option, we have a put option, which is the same. It has the 100 shares. It's got an expiration and a strike price. But it's a way to get your shares back and get paid while you're waiting to get them back. But we'll save that for another time. All right, anyway, that's the covered call. I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? I probably did. But again, we'll talk about this more in class. All right, so good luck and goodbye.